Hey guys, this is Chris with Regular Guy Preppers. Just wanted to get back on top of a video and just get back in the action a little bit. I've been working, so sorry I've not been so good about getting out some videos and stuff like that, but that's just going to ramp up and down with work because this is kind of just a little hobby thing. But I want to get to talking about kind of some misconceptions in prepping, or I don't know. Everybody's got a different idea of what prepping really is. There's no one-size-fits-all activity, and in reality, it's kind of a broad term that can be broken into different approaches, often defined kind of more by the scale and the nature of the events that you're preparing for. While there isn't one official classification, one can generally be categorized into three major types. Basically, you got your short term, you got more of a long term, and then you've got your serious like self-sufficiency, doomsday prepping, maybe just completely off-grid lifestyle with kind of just wanting to be away from everything when it goes to hell in a handbasket. So kind of short term is what I think most of us really think about when we're talking about our 72-hour kits, our bug out kits, our bug home kits. And that's gonna be to like get to a FEMA extraction, to get home from a bad situation, or get out of home and get just somewhere, like the aforementioned FEMA, or maybe something like there's a fire or flood, maybe there's an incoming hurricane, kind of depends where you're living. So that's really the short term. This is the most common and practical type of prepping out there, and the goal is to basically be prepared for common short-term disruptions that are likely to basically happen to anyone. And you need to basically also be thinking about your kids, your wife, the pets and stuff like that in these situations. So having a kit also designed for them in mind is really good around the house. And that's kind of when you start getting into your longer medium range prepping, when you start thinking about maybe having to get yourselves and the whole family out somewhere for a little more of a longer term situation. You want to make sure that you have medicines for you, the kids, the dog, the cat, whatever you need to remember. And it requires a little bit more. One thing I do not recommend is some people think that they're going to bug out to the woods and survive out there with all the stuff they put in their truck, or they're going to hike out there. And good luck. You better have some skills. You're going to need survival skills. You're going to need bushcraft skills. You're going to need to be able to hunt, fish, skin, prepare. And honestly, in situations like that, they've literally proven that when societies collapse, animals get pretty much killed off because people don't have anything to eat. And before they start eating each other, they basically eat anything that's flying, crawling, walking. So some of the statistics I have seen is that an area can literally be devastated in game after a society collapse for like 100, even 200 years. So think about that. The long-term survival, where you think you're going to hang out there in the middle of the woods, scraping existence out, man, you better know what you're doing. And then there's going to probably be a fight because there's going to be a ton of other people out there in the woods. So I kind of do believe in a little more of the bug in approach. Try to have enough to get by at the house. Try to have enough to get yourself at least a little victory garden, as they used to call it back in the day. Get something going. You might want to start thinking about getting something going like meat rabbits, chickens and stuff like that around the house. Get some goats. But that's also starting to get into a little more of that long term. But that mid time is more for severe, prolonged emergencies that may require you to stay in your home, survive for extended periods. This could be weeks to even months. Sometimes in bad situations, people have gone for months without power and water. And having that type of a backup already in your home, ready to go, could go a long way, because sometimes people have to truck out miles just to get food and water in these bad situations. It's happened here in Colorado, out east, out west. I mean, you name it, stuff happens. The damage out east to the hurricanes and fires out west have destroyed infrastructures for the cities and stuff like that in the towns, and people basically have to rely on FEMA and goodwill and stuff like that and scraping by. And you do have to worry about people coming around looking for your stuff, in a bad situation. You have to worry about people scavenging off of you. So gotta watch out for those raiders. But also, let's kind of get more into the that longer term. That is because of regional disasters, economic collapse, civil unrest, and this is basically you want to make sure that you have the ability to be self-sufficient when basically there's a major crisis, major life impossibility. And it basically does involve having a major bug out plan so you do have some place to go. And honestly, that's what you want, is if you actually have to do a big bug out, you want some place to go in mind that already has maybe even more of something. Like maybe you got a nice little cabin somewhere, and you got a batch of survival supplies locked up in it, and you hope to get away from people. But once again, you're not trying to scrape by, you've already got stuff in place. And hopefully some skills in your head already about survival, hunting, and that type of bushcraft kind of skills. But also, then we're kind of basically already getting into that self-sufficiency, doomsday, super long prep. These guys are the most extreme forms of preppers. You associate them with a focus on total society collapse, or shit hitting the fan, as they say. And the goal is to be able to live off-grid, be fully independent of all modern systems. And this involves having like a homestead, growing your own food, livestock, generating your own power, having access to your own fresh water supply, developing advanced skills, bushcraft, hunting, foraging, advanced medical care, maybe even have a secure location, actually having yourself a bunker, or at least something that you can protect yourself and your family, your supplies, because that's what's going to happen. There's going to be those weaker people or desperate people, and they might just want to take what you have. So honestly, having a good stockpile of the appropriate things to defend yourself with is a very wise idea. And let's see, building secure location, fortified home, dedicated shelter like a bunker. And the motivation here is that you believe that complete breakdown of society is absolutely coming. Boy, I wonder why people think that. And possibly the only way to survive is to be completely self-sufficient, and I do think they are right. But most of us don't have that ability to really have a chunk of land and a secured location, so definitely do the bug-in approach is what I really think is the best for the average person, little at a time, building up some supplies, keeping extra amounts of water around, stockpiled in case you're someplace where the water is going to be a serious situation. I have things like a well and backup solar, and with enough batteries, I can put batteries pretty much in series and get enough voltage up to run something like a well, and at least keep the backyard, which will soon be a garden, going, have water for me. But if I had to actually bug out and live somewhere, it's going to be a hard scrap, but I'd rather have a group of people and a place in place long-term already ready to go. I think most people would. So that's really just kind of breaking things down as I see it, the different types of prepping, and I hope that kind of helps you think about prepping in your mind, and it just kind of gives you what I think about short, medium, long term. And basically the best thing is to start small and build up. As you start kind of thinking about your situation, things are going to occur what you need to do, such as how much food do you need for the family. It's one thing if it's you, a bachelor. It's another thing if it's your girlfriend. Man, you're trying to bring 2-3 kids along, plus a dog and a cat. Ooh, you better have a small U-Haul. Once again, you might already want to be somewhere, or have the ability to turn your home into a survival situation, know how to garden, know how to raise some animals and stuff like that. So, I don't know. There's no real one approach, and I hope this kind of helps you kind of frame things up in your own mind. Well, anyway, I hope you have a great day. This is Chris from Regular Guy Preppers. Thank you.